I'm walking in the gas station, and who does it look like I see, bro? The getaway driver, cuz one of the guys that now Big Boy didn't tell on me, but I'm like, I'm gonna get off on anybody. At this point, everybody, my whole family.
The whole team.
Yeah.
100.
100.
Double salute. Wildlife 100.
Wildlife 100.
I've been in the trap every day, I don't get much sleep.
Wildlife 100.
Something so real, so real, you can feel it in your knees. I need something like you, do you need someone like me?
What's moving, everybody? Hey, man, you already know what's going on. I'm back again with another crazy story. This time I got the day my best friend sent me to jail for the unthinkable, part 16. Now, on the last part 15, we kind of went through the black team and how we kind of scared the sergeant. Well, my roommate and the Bloods kind of scared the sergeant. They scared the sergeant and the black team out of leaving the pod completely, right? And I also told y'all about how Chop was coming up on his ship-off date. His ship-off date being the day he either goes upstairs on the 8th floor to get shipped off to prison, or the day that he actually goes to prison, right? Remember I told y'all the pod was pretty much quiet. Like it wasn't too much going on. They just scared the black team. My celly just told on one of the COs, like we kind of smooth sailing in our pod at this point. You feel me? It ain't it ain't too many young boys in the pod, no young gangbangers or anything like that. It's a couple of gangbangers, but for the most part they older. We got OGs in the pod, so we really just kicking it. You feel me? Like it ain't too much drama going on or anything. You got this and that going on here and there, little discrepancies, but for the most part, bro, our pod had them been flipped to a cool setting, right? One day, I go hit the door, and I'm talking to Chop, and we sitting there talking, and, we chopping it up about whatever we chopping it up with. I might then hit a verse on the door, because I used to write music every single day. If y'all been watching this content, then y'all know I used to sing for all of the inmates after lockdown time and rap and, beat on the door. And I just so happened to be at the door with Chop. And I might have said something that I just wrote or something like that. And he was like, hold on for a second. So I'm like, all right, bet. I held on for maybe about 20-25 minutes or something like that. It was so long that I had to wait till the door got hit again. Now, hitting the door is basically, it's a doorknob on his side and it's a doorknob on my side. Twist it real hard and it makes a sound. And that's basically like ringing the doorbell in the other pod, right? That's how we talk to people in the other pod, and we just talk through the crack of the door. So I waited, and I went and sat down somewhere, but I made sure I stayed close to the door, because I'm like, whatever he got going on, it must be important. You feel me? Because when we talk at the door, we talk. Man, tell me why that man done came back to the door. He done hit the door. I go to the door. He done got into a whole full-on fight, fool. In somebody else's room, or in one of the rooms in his pod. I don't remember what it was about, but he told me this time. He said Cuz kept up with him. I ain't gonna lie to you. he beat him, but Cuz kept up with him. You feel me? It was a bigger guy. I can't remember Shouty name, but he just so happened to be a bigger guy, and him and Chop got into it because he disrespected Chop in some type of way. I think it had something to do with dinner or something like that. I don't necessarily remember, but he put me on hold right there at the door to go handle that business real quick, and came back to the door and act like ain't nothing happened. You feel me? I mean, he told me the story and stuff like that, but for the most part, he was way too calm for somebody who had just got into the fight of his life. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he was describing it, but it was so much bigger than him, and just wouldn't give up, But that's Chop though. You feel me? So it is what it is. When he came back to the door, I went on ahead and asked him. I'm like, hey, fool. I'm going to try to do this rap thing when I get out, Well, I am going to do this rap thing when I get out. What you think a good rap name would be, And mind you, I had already walked around the pod a couple different times and asked other people. He was like, well, what you thinking? And I basically told him, like, 3 or 4 names that I was thinking that I had written down, right? And 100 was one of them. And he ended up picking 100. You feel me? That's where the 100 come from in my name. Wildlife is the establishment or the gang that we started before we got locked up, but 100 come from me being locked up. And everybody chose his name because I went back around the room again. After I stopped talking to Chop at the door, I went back around the room just to confirm to everybody else if that was a suitable name, right? So I asked my celly, I asked some of the other bloods, I asked just about everybody in the pod that I had any type of dealings with, and they agreed that 100 should be my name because I just always kept it 100. I ain't lie. I stayed to myself. I stayed out of folk business. I just kept it real for the most part. If you come to me and ask me something, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? If I felt like I had to lie, I just wasn't gonna say nothing at all. That was dope. That was one of the dope things about being in jail. So that's how I got the name 100. So at this point though, remember I told y'all we dwindling down as far as when Chop is supposed to be getting shipped off. With that is also coming my release date, right? I only had about a month and a half left until I was released, right? Because I only got 9 months in jail. I did 3 months already previously, and they counted that as time served. So at this point, I was serving a 6-month sentence this last go round. Because I got locked up one time, I did 3 months. I ended up getting a year in totality. But in the county time, that's why I picked county time. You only do like a third of your time. You feel what I'm saying? So that's 9 months, the judge already gave me credit for the 3 months I did ahead of time, so that left me with 6 more months to do. Now I'm walking down like my last month. You feel me? My last month and a half. I'm hoping that me and Chop get to spend the rest of my time in here, pod to pod. Him right next to me. For a couple of days of that month, fool, we kicked it at the door. It's like we felt it coming. We felt him about to leave or something like that. And one day I woke up. I think my celly ended up waking me up. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And I went to my room door and I seen Chop in the center, by the center tower, fool. He was basically about to get shipped off to prison. He hit me with one more of these, and I hit him back with one. And I'm like, bro, I love you, fool. You know what I'm saying? And that was the last time I seen him, as far as until I got out, and until he got out, or until I seen him in visitation after I got out, which was a crazy thing too, because after I ended up getting out, I did end up visiting Chop, which I didn't even know was possible, because like I told y'all, we was co-defendants. But I guess because he had already took the charge, said it was him or whatever like that, they didn't have to pin us against each other after Chop already told them folks that he was the shooter. So he hit me with one last one of these, and I'm like, damn, my dog gone. But if you ever been to prison, then y'all know it. Hell, if you ever been to the county, then you know what's going on. Like, it get like that, especially on the 7th floor, in the county. But certain prisons you go to, they known for just buying. They known for just going crazy. You feel me? Whether you gang related, whether you not. My brother gone. My celly, I ain't gonna lie. He was a real one in this regard. He know my brother gone. He know my mood kind of changed a little bit. So he tried to be somewhat of a big brother to me, in that moment in time, which was cool. Don't get me wrong. I still had certain questions about how he was moving in certain regards. You feel me? Because it was certain things that they did in that jail, bro, that I just could never get down with. Like one day, it was a female CO that was on duty. She just so happened to be in the center tower. Like, the female COs, they didn't really like to come in the pods by themselves, but she used to come in the pod by herself, and lock us down and do certain things and stuff like that. And a lot of the inmates used to feel like, okay, since she did that, or since she's so comfortable being around us, she must like us. And don't get me wrong, she was straight, you feel me? To be in jail, she was fine. You know what I'm saying? She was jail fine for sure. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. One day she was in the center tower, and she only used to come to the 7th floor maybe like once a week, at least our floor, She was in the center tower, and she ended up coming inside of the pod for something. And I think my celly was just so happened to be in the shower or something like that. I don't remember what she came to the pod for. Now, the way the showers is set up, is 2 showers in the middle of the pod, basically. Like, kind of in the middle, but towards the back where the cells are. So these showers, bro, it's like a box, it's like a box with a swinging door. And if you swing the door open, you can see everything, and everybody can see you from the front of the pod, right? And the center tower and stuff like that. So my celly just so happened to be in the shower, right? When the female CO came in, I guess he decided to try her up. You know what I'm saying? So when she came in, he opened his door and he was basically washing his body while she was in there with the door wide open. You feel me? So I guess he felt like, well, if she look or if she show any type of interest, then I'm gonna go harder. You know what I mean? And I don't know if she showed any type of, I didn't see her show any type of interest or anything like that, but I really wasn't paying too much attention because, you know, that's a whole different move. You feel me? Like, I don't even want to be involved in that type of stuff, especially after you done caught the one of the male COs in a sticky situation. I don't want to be in no nefarious acts that got anything to do with anything like that. You know, at this point, so I just minded my business. You feel me? He ended up coming out the shower like after she left the pod, because she might have told him like, don't get out that shower while I'm in here, or they might have already knew. So when she left the pod, he ends up getting his dope pop. When he get his dope pop, he goes inside his room. He gets a t-shirt, another t-shirt, some lotion, and some more stuff. You feel me? And I'm guessing all of his other partners was on the same thing. They got their doors popped or whatever the case like that. Bro, these folk went to the front of the pod, bro. Right there in front of the center tower, fool, and wrapped their faces up and proceeded to play with themselves in front of the female CO, cuz, on everything. Like, it was like 3 or 4 of them just in the front, just going hard right in front of the CO, fool. Like, right in front of the CO in the center tower, cuz. And I don't even think she locked them down, bro. And her not locking them down made them feel like that she liked them even more. You know what I'm saying? And if you in jail, bro, don't make no inmate feel like you like them. Straight up. If you a CO, if you an inmate, if you a anything, don't make no another inmate feel like you like them, bro. Because they ain't got nothing else to do but go hard. No pun intended. You feel me? Straight up. They ain't got nothing else to do but get on you. You feel me? So every time she came to the top floor, they was on that. You feel me? But she didn't never lock nobody down. So, you know, I don't know if she liked it or what the case was. There I go sounding like an inmate. But I don't know, you know, because some of them folks, bro, some of them COs, bro, they really be liking inmates, fool. Like, they really like the edge that some of them folk got, or the fact that they in jail, or whatever the case. I don't know what they be liking, you know, but it's not unlikely to bag a CO in the county on the 7th floor or just in prison in general. Remember I told y'all my cellie, we know pretty much everything about each other. You know, I know what he in jail for, he know what I'm in jail for, he know my release date, all that like that. I just didn't tell everybody my business. He was trying to be like a big brother to me of some sort. So he came to me one day and he was like, hey, Lil J, you finna get out in about a month. You know, he already counted my time up and everything. I'm like, yeah, you right. He like, you trying to make some liquor? I'm like, not really, but why not? You know what I'm saying? Forget it. It is what it is. What we gotta do? And I really didn't want to do it at first, you know, but as the days went by, it was like, all right, it is what it is. I'm finna get out. You know, I ain't really tripping. I don't really distrust these folks to the extent that they would try me in any type of way like that. Like, that was never our relationship, you know. So I didn't feel like Shawty was just gonna try me. I just didn't want Shawty to feel like he could try me, or anybody else to feel like they could try me. But I'm like, you know, it is what it is. Let's just do it. So he like, all right, bet. Just save all make sure you get oranges or apples or something like that, some kind of fruit, you know, for dinner or whatever. And make sure when you get them, make sure you save the pills. So I'm like, all right, bet. Let's do it. So we saved up a whole bunch of pills and just fruit and stuff like that, and we ended up putting it in his bag, bro. We ended up getting a garbage bag. Now this would be counted as contraband in jail. You can't have a garbage bag full of stuff. Folks used to have 2 garbage bags and tie them up on a stick and lift weights with it. They used to be called water weights or water bags or something like that, and that was even counted as contraband. We weren't allowed to do none of that. Having a bag full of homemade liquor, that was definitely contraband. We put a whole bunch of orange peelings in the bag and some more stuff, and he pretty much whipped it up, but he showed me how to do it, and some water. and we tied the bag up, fool, and we put it up under his bed. We put it up under his bed and we let it sit, bro. I remember one day the sergeant ended up coming, or the lieutenant ended up coming. I don't know what he came for, but it was such a close call. Like, I thought he was gonna catch the bag, you know what I'm saying? But he really just wanted to talk to my celly. My celly really had business with them folks. You feel me? I think he was telling on more than one CO. I don't know. You feel me? But we used to get out of a lot of mess because he was just in the mix in certain regards. You feel me? We let the bag sit up under there for about 2-3 weeks. 3-4 weeks or something like that. And then he came to me again and he was like, "Hey, Lil J, you know what I was thinking?" And I was talking to some of the other folks. "Man, we gonna throw you a party, fool. Feel me? Like, you dwindling down to like your last week. You know, this your last week in here. Let's just throw a party." So I'm like, "All right, that's a bet. You know, what you want me to put in on?" I ain't even have to put in on nothing, cuz straight up, these folks, bro, these folks on 7 Northwest came together and said, "Lil J finna go home, and we like him enough to throw him a party, bro." On everything, cuz a room full of felons, fool, a room full of unalivers and dealers and all type of stuff, fool. They threw me a party, cuz and I ain't have to put nothing in. You feel me? So they like my celly like, "Yeah, we gonna throw you a party, fool. Let's you ain't gotta put nothing in. If you want to, it is what it is, but we got this, and that already." Now in jail, you already know. If you've been to jail, you already know that it's a bunch of different ways that you can make a bunch of different stuff. You know, you can make cakes, you can make pies, you can make burritos, you can make nachos, all type of stuff. And we ended up making all of it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ended up putting their money in for commissary, and they set certain stuff aside for a certain day. I think it was like a Friday or something. That next week I was leaving. So that Friday, everybody had their stuff ready. We came out on rotation. When we came out on rotation, first, it was folks that was already making stuff inside their pod, right? Like cakes and stuff like that. And cakes, if you don't know what cakes is, in jail, they get honey buns, right? They get honey buns, and they might get some type of bread or whatever, and they mix it all together. They make it like one big piece of dough. And then they lay it flat. Then they get some icing from some cookies. Like you might order some duplex cookies or something. You get the icing out of the cookies and you spread one the top layer. Then you make a whole nother layer of bread. Put that on top of it. Put some more icing on top of that. Some M&Ms, some cookie crumbles, and you just do it up. You feel me? The burritos was the same thing. They'll get bread and they'll make like a shell, bro. It was crazy. They would flatten the bread out and make noodles. Make noodles. The noodles was never hot. They just used to soak them in water for a certain amount of time. They lay the bread flat. They put the noodles on there. They put jalapenos. They put whatever it is that go in a burrito. You know, they would get sausage links from the store, from the commissary. You know, the ones that's in the packet. They'll chop that up, then roll it up. You feel me? And put chips in it and all type of stuff. They just used to do it up. You feel me? So Friday came. Everybody brought their stuff outside. You know, we literally out in the day room partying, bro. Straight up. We put the TV on MTV or something like that. One of them stations where they played a little music or something. And we just sat there, drank our liquor, and we partied, bro. You feel me? And party, basically, we wasn't sitting there dancing or anything like that. It was just a party in there was more so the vibe. You feel me? Like, it just felt like freedom for a second, you know? It wasn't necessarily a party like, party over here, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it wasn't nothing like that, you feel me? We was just eating and drinking, cuz, you know, by the time I went in my cell that night, I was a little tipsy, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I wasn't just drunk because I wasn't trying to just get drunk, you feel me? I wasn't trying to get caught off my pivot like that. But for the most part, you know, I did indulge and I got a little tipsy, you know. I was feeling it, you know. And bro, I went in my cell, fool, and me and my celly, we just talked, bro. You know, we just talked. I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about his family, my family, you know. We just got to know each other a little deeper. And he gave me a note to pull up on his baby mama and give his baby mama and slash wife, you know. And I did that. You feel me? I made sure she got the note, and I didn't read it. It said whatever it said or whatever like that, and you know, I just did what I could when I did get out. So here comes the time where they calling my name to pack it up. Remember, I told y'all it was a Friday when we did the party. They might have called my name to pack it up that Monday, fool. Like, it was a little earlier than I expected. It might have been Monday or Sunday. I don't remember. But they called my name. It was like 5 in the morning, fool. You feel me? I dapped my celly up. I told everybody bye. I gave everybody certain things that they probably wanted, like an extra cover, extra pillow, or something like that. And I proceeded to make my way out of the DeKalb County Jail, cuz finally, on everything, you feel me? So I get up out of there. Well, first of all, it took all day. You know, I got out maybe like 5 in the morning, and processing took to about 3 p.m. I get out of jail. The little chick I was talking to before I got locked up, she was already outside waiting on me. You feel me? But she didn't know where to go at first, you know, so I didn't see nobody first walking out. Mind you, I ain't got my phone. I got a little check for about $25. You know, that was the money I had left on my commissary. So so I just started walking down the street. I got to get from in front of the jail on everything. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. You feel me? So I just get to walking down the street. Then I called her. I called her from the gas station or from like a Wendy's or something that I had stopped at. And I basically told her, like, yeah, this is where I'm at. You know, come pick me up. You feel me? So she had already been riding around the area. She came pick me up, took me to my mama house for a little second. When I got to my mama house, it was a whole party waiting on me there. Like, my closest friends, if y'all been watching The Day I Became the Plug, then y'all know about Justin, Bam, and Brittany and all them. All my closest people was at the house, bro. They had done. It took me so long to get out. They thought I was getting out the day before. It took me so long to get out that they ended up spending the night in there. I thought I got out early, you know, but come to find out, I got out like a day late. Everybody was there. We kicking it. You know, I'm finally home. You know, now it's time to figure life out. You feel me? But on top of figuring life out, remember, I still got a certain mentality, you know. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to get in no trouble. I don't want to be on no BS, but I still got certain things on my mind. I still live in the same area where these folks at that I used to hang with that told on me. You feel me? So I fought the urge every day not to hit these folks up on Facebook or call the last number I knew or threaten their mama or something, like, you know, just something crazy. You feel me? Until one day, fool, I'm walking in the gas station, cuz, and I'm trying to do better. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm walking in the gas station, and who does it look like I see, bro? Big Boy. The getaway driver, cuz. One of the guys now Big Boy didn't tell on me, but I'm like, I'm gonna get off on anybody. You know, at this point, I can't hit you up on Facebook or anything like that because, you know, I'm not supposed to be around the victims, or I'm not supposed to be around my co-defendants or just certain people, you know? So it was just my luck. It's like I turned around in the gas station and I see the silhouette, bro, but he not facing me, but I know it's silhouette, fool. I see the silhouette, so I proceed to march his way. Cause, hey, but drop part 17 in the comments if y'all want part 17. You feel me? Cause listen, bro, I done finally made it out of jail, cause I'm fighting the urge not to do something to somebody, you know, and I seemingly done ran into one of the bodies. You know what I mean? Straight up. But listen, man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Oh, yeah, and look, check it out. I had a comment that said, I keep telling the same stories. Listen, this is my life. I only lived life one time. You feel what I'm saying? But in order to get to the root of where I'm trying to go, or to explain to y'all the process or what I've been through for the last 10 years, I gotta tell some of the stories that I told. I just gave y'all some of the meat, you feel me, when I told certain stories at first. Now I'm giving y'all the meat and bones. The meat, bones, the skin, the blood, all that. You feel me? I'm giving y'all the whole breakdown on how things went left and how things got right. You know what I'm saying? So just be patient with me. You feel me? And I got you. You know what I mean? Hey, but make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and until next time, man. 100.